last night we had Bill Batson on. What a great live show that was.
Yeah.
So informative. But he
Super cool
talked
dude.
about a lot of different blanks. And I thought maybe this would be a time for you to illustrate exactly some of the rods and blanks that he was talking about.
So, I mean, as he was saying, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of part numbers that he's got, hundreds of blanks that he's got. So sometimes it's kind of like hard to really decipher it all because it's all part numbers that make sense in the catalog. But, here at the shop, we got a few of the ones that we picked out of there that apply to our fishing. But even still, when you start looking at the part numbers, sometimes it's hard to understand.
Yeah, it
so
gets confusing.
It
right?
does, yeah. And that's for all brands.
Right.
They have a huge catalog, and then we pick out the things that work for us. But even still, want to help you guys, with that a little bit.
Yeah, great.
So what I kind of picked out from what guys were asking about, there's 3 different blanks here that are pretty cool. This guy here, it's an RCLB ADM.
Yeah.
So this is a Rainshadow composite live bait. Doesn't mean you have to only use it for live bait. It's a beautiful blank. I would call it your most all-around local Southern California blank that they make. It's a 8-foot blank. It's a 20 to 50 pound rating. I would say it'd be great for anything from, just like the line rating suggests, 25, 30, 40 pound test. Has a nice fast taper that we're kind of used to here on the West Coast. I would probably say it's something similar to like a CalStar Graphite 800N. That'd probably be the closest thing to describe it to, or compare it to. And it's a really, really nice blank, lightweight, and it's something you guys should check out.
Plenty of good for sea bass, yellowtail, tuna
no
to
problem.
50 pounds.
Yeah, dropper loop fishing. You can even throw jigs with it. It's one of those rods that kind of like the old D8 where you have one rod to do everything. This, for local fishing, this would be the one.
Super versatile.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
The next series here is these SW series. And now these, based on the number you'll see here, the first 3 numbers are a length. So in inches. So this 120, so 128, so 1208.
Yep.
120 inches, 10 foot. 108 inches, this is basically 8 foot 10. And then the last number is a power number. They'll have a 7, an 8, and a 9.
Okay.
But these are something that some of the old school guys would compare or be familiar with. The old pack bay blanks that we had in the late 80s, early 90s. When graphite rods first started coming into our Southern California fishing for calico bass, sand bass, halibut, they became real popular. They kind of went away a little bit with some of the manufacturing going overseas or other places, but Bill's done a really good job of capturing those blanks here. They're all graphite, 9, 10 foot. I think he has some 8 foot ones, but the 9 and 10 foot ones are the ones that guys really like. And so those are the ones you should check out there. Kind of an inshore rod, nice, really long, skinny blanks that you can put with a modern reel. With all these small bait casters, they fit really good. But you can throw a regular conventional reel on it too. But a lot of guys do fish those bait casters on them. The next couple blanks here that I want to show you guys are going to be 2 different series. One is a RCTB, which is a Rainshadow composite tuna blank. This one in particular, it's a 76 2XH. It's got a rating of 50 to 130, which is a super wide rating.
Wow.
I would say it would be a great 80, 100 pound rod, but you could probably fish even heavier on it. It's a super nice bend to it, and we'll show you that a little bit later, but I would say the best comparison to it would be somewhere in between like a CalStar 7'6". They're graphite or like 775 2XH, something like that. With really, really nice rod, maybe a little bit below that one, maybe between an XH and a 2XH. And in any of the tuna that we're getting nowadays here, the San Diego tuna, this will handle it. 250 pound fish, no problem. Fishing the sinker rig, no problem on the heavy line, and also the knife jigs, of course. This would be great here. The other ones here are going to be out of the RCJB series, so it's a Rainshadow composite jig blank. And once again, it's not just a jig rod. In fact, most guys would be fishing bait with this. And they have a 90H, a 90XH, and a 2XH. Those are the 3. Most similar to like a Graphiter 875H, XH, and 2XH. This would be a great 40 pound rod. It's a 7.5 foot. And this one also is in inches, so that's where the 90 is. It's an inch in inches, so it's a 7.5 foot, 40 pound, 7.5 foot, 50 pound, and then the 7.5 foot 60 pounds. So these would kind of lead you from that heavier tuna rod, 100 pound, 80 pound, down to a 60, 50, 40 pound. And these would also be good local. Maybe the lighter one would be a nice local heavy rod for like a yo-yo rod. It's got a nice, good backbone, but it's got a soft enough tip that even on yo-yo fishing for the big yellowtail there at the bank would be just great. So that's about it there on the blanks. So, I mean, they have, like I said, hundreds of other blanks that we stock here as well. But these are the ones that we were asking about, guys were asking about last night and today too. So we'll go with that. We're going to bend on a few rods to kind of show the differences on them in comparison, but that's what you guys should be looking for.
All right, Rainshadow making some really excellent stuff. Thank you, Sam.
You got it, Phil. Bill.